Hello, everyone. Ex-Walk Hill Bethelite here. And Jehovah's Witnesses just look dumber and dumber and dumber. The longer you look at their teachings and put them in light of current events and the things that we see going on, the dumber Jehovah's Witnesses look. These are the dumbest people to ever walk the face of the earth. As far as a group of people, this particular group of Jehovah's Witnesses, right? The group we call Jehovah's Witnesses, this group is the dumbest group of people to ever walk the face of the earth. I'm including Stone Age. I'm including prehistoric ooze. These are the dumbest groups of people. Jehovah's Witnesses on the top of the list of just pure stupidity. I'm not joking. As far as any group of people under any title, the group called Jehovah's Witnesses are the dumbest group of people on the face of the earth. Let's talk a little bit about NIL. NIL is name, image, and likeness. Jehovah's Witnesses for the longest time wouldn't allow their kids to participate in sports. Not only would they not let their kids participate in high school, middle school sports, but they would encourage their kids not to go to college. Right? Because in the mind of the monkey, who we'll call the Jehovah's Witness monkey, in their mind, you can avoid negative influence. You can avoid people they think of as bad association by just not letting your kids participate in sports. But they're in the same school with the same students that would be on the sports team all freaking day. That's not bad association. It's not bad association that you're in the same freaking class with the quarterback. You can be in school with them all day. That's fine. But if you're on a sports team, if the quarterback is throwing you the ball, then all of a sudden it's bad association. Well, Jehovah's Witness children have been deprived because of the idiot parents that they have. They have the dumbest parents that have ever walked the face of the earth. Most Jehovah's Witnesses children are not as well off as far as being prepared to deal with life as other children because their parents, unfortunately, they were born to idiotic parents. They're just dumb. Do you have Jehovah's Witnesses telling their kids, don't participate in sports, don't participate in college, and the result is what we see today. Somewhat recently, colleges it's now legal. It's perfectly legal for colleges to pay student athletes. So you got student athletes coming out of high school, excuse me, making anywhere from $200,000 a year, maybe $100,000 a year, a lot of money, really good money, six-figure money, and they're not in the pros. So you don't have to be in the NFL or NBA to make good money, right? You can just be good in high school, good enough in high school for a college to have enough interest in you to say, hey, if you come to our school, we'll give you $500,000. Can you imagine your parents telling you that you can't benefit from $500,000 and free education, you can't benefit from that, because if you avoid the $500,000 in free education, you won't have to worry about any bad influences. You idiots! I don't care if they work in a pig farm or wherever they work, because they don't have no education, there's going to be somebody there that's a bad influence. You've been on the Australian Royal Commission. Jehovah's Witnesses have been on the Australian Royal Commission because they had such a problem, have, plural, or have, as in current, problems with pedophiles in their halls. A lot of congregations have this glass window with seats behind it, and a lot of times the people that they say are bad association sit behind that. You got them at the Kingdom Hall. Like, you got quote-unquote bad fellowship association everywhere. But in the Jehovah Witness monkey mind, you can avoid this by just not playing sports. If you don't play sports, all these bad people just disappear. You won't have any run-ins with them. And because of that, there are talented Jehovah's Witness youth that are going to miss out on free education. They're going to miss out on a lot of money. Before, they would say, well, there's so few people that are going to be good enough to make money in the NBA or NFL, or maybe even Major League Baseball. Well, now, virtually anybody who is a star in high school, the countless high schools all over, all these colleges are able to pay them for their name and image and likeness. They are able to pay them money. So you ain't even got to be good enough to go to the pros. You just have to, all you need are parents who are not the dumbest people on the face of the earth to just let you play sports in high school. That's all. All you need is parents to sign their name on whatever it is they need to, or the waiver or whatever, just to play a sport in high school, and bam, you can be rich. You're talking kids getting hundreds of thousands of dollars to play a sport in school, and then if they're smart with the money, even if they don't go pro, now you got an education and you got a boatload of money in the bank. And the only thing you need to do is play a sport and have parents that aren't dumb enough to say you can't play. And Jehovah's Witnesses are probably the only people on the face of the planet Earth who have parents that are so freaking stupid. They so stupid. And part of the reason why they're so stupid, you can't say that this is indoctrination. You can't say that this is something that they done put in the soup and mess with their minds, because all these parents, they're old enough to know that you got to get a job. They're old enough to know that you got to pay bills. They're old enough to know the difference between having a career and a job. And the cult didn't remove that from their mind. They know all of those things. So they understand that kids now with the NIL money, kids can greatly benefit. And you don't really lose anything just to apply yourself to the sport and see if you're good enough to be able to make all that money and get free education and have a better way of life. The Jehovah's Witnesses, they understand that. They're just so dumb that they think a life of standing next to freaking carts and being so dirt poor, you can't afford anything. You couldn't even afford a funeral. You can't afford anything. You can't even afford new white shirts. You got shirts with the dirt all around the collar. and you're standing next to the cart, and they think that that's the best way of life, standing next to carts and handing out magazines. And of course, you can't stand next to a cart and hand out a magazine if you go to college. It just you can't do both because these people are just stupid. Of course you could do both. You can go to college, you can play basketball, and in your free time you can stand next to a cart and hold up a magazine. So now Jehovah's Witnesses, because of your parents' stupidity, if you're a current Jehovah's Witness, is costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Not to mention the cost of tuition, which would be free. They'd waive that. They're not going to give you $200,000 and say, well, you got to use that money to pay the tuition. No, they'll give you free ride, free tuition, and on top of that, hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, or maybe even a big lump sum. There's no roof to it. They can give a kid $1 million if he's good enough. And now, because your parents are the stupidest people to ever walk the face of the earth, you can't benefit from that. Jehovah's Witness kids, more so than probably anybody else's children, have a reason to rebel from their parents. They're actually better off if they rebel from their parents. If they were to run away from home, they probably wind up better off if they were to obey their parents, just stand next to carts and be dirt poor. I don't know, maybe wash windows or wherever the family business is. Half these people don't have family businesses. They have no plan at all for their kids. You tell your kids, don't go to college. Don't benefit from this NIL money. Don't benefit from sports and all those benefits. Don't benefit from none of it. Okay, well, what's the plan? Stand next to carts. Okay, other than that, we don't have a plan. Our plan for our kids are just stand next to carts and hold up magazines in the air. These are the dumbest people to have ever, the sun has never shined on a group of people dumber than Jehovah's Witnesses. The sun has never shined in the history of the sun being there on a group of people dumber than the Jehovah's Witnesses. The more time goes on, the dumber Jehovah's Witnesses look. Because if they were getting all their direction from God, God would know. Well, the end of the world is not coming for a really long time, and all your kids are going to need jobs and careers and things to where they can have a decent life, because they're going to die in this system. The new system ain't coming for a long time. And God would know they're going to be paying people just to play sports in college, let alone pro sports. So God would never come up with the concept of you shouldn't send your kids to college because that would be stupid. It would be stupid for God to say something like that if he knew full well the end of the world is not coming before you die. So you're going to be here for a while. So you might as well make your life as comfortable as possible and still stand next to a cart on a Saturday. So it's not coming from God. It's coming from 8 obese, half-dead looking men in New York. And the Jehovah's Witnesses are just dumb enough to believe whatever in the world these people say. So now they all look like fools because you got NIL now. You got all this money being showered on all these children. All these people's lives are being changed. And the only thing that they had were parents that just weren't the stupidest people to ever walk the face of the earth. That's all you need. to shoot a basketball, to catch a football, to take the ball and run with it. All you need are parents that, you might not even have the best parents in the world. They just don't need to be the dumbest parents in the world and tell you you can't run the football. Because if you're running the football, that's bad association. But if you're sitting next to a person in the classroom, the same person that would hand you the football, if you're sitting with them in the class, that's fine. You won't end up a bad person if you sit with them in school all freaking day. But if they hand you the football, then it's the end of the world. Comment down below, let me know what you think, but this isn't changing anytime soon. NIL, name, image, and likeness, boatloads of money being showered on, boatloads of kids all over the place. If you're good enough to be ranked like a 5-star or 4-star in high school, and there's a lot of kids that are, maybe you're not a 5-star or 4-star. Maybe you're just a 3-star athlete. Well, there's probably schools that are struggling to win that might pay some money for that. So your peers are going to be having a great life. Your peers who are not Jehovah's Witnesses are going to be having a great life, getting an education, having a nice home, having a nice family. And you, as a Jehovah's Witness, because your parents are dumb, are going to be standing next to a cart. Who knows where you're going to work? You might just be working at Chipotle for your whole life. You're not going to, you may not even have a wife. You may not ever have a house. Your life is going to be a bowl of shit. And it's because you're obedient to idiots. If you are a Jehovah's Witness and your parents are Jehovah's Witnesses and you're listening to them, you're being obedient to an idiot. Jehovah's Witnesses are the only group of people that can make God a liar, because God says in the Bible to honor thy father and thy mother so that it will go well with you. God didn't even know there were going to be parents that are this stupid. So God didn't even predict that you're going to have a group of people so freaking dumb that if your kids honor thy father and thy mother, it'll go worse for you because your parents are so freaking stupid. You're not supposed to have two that are that dumb. You might have one that's that dumb, but you're not supposed to have two. And if you got two, somebody in somebody's family should pick up on this and help the kid. So that scripture should prove true in some way, shape, or form. But Jehovah's Witnesses are so stupid, they have proven God wrong. That if you honor thy father and thy mother, and thy father and thy mother, or thou art that stupidest, it will go bad for you. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. X-Walk Bethelite signing out.